For those of us who have been involved in this ride from this horrible event on the 10th of September of last year up to now, what is this, 11 months? There have been moments that defined the effort, either that crystallized our movement, that focused our attention, that were just fun, interesting, but things that really changed the course of this. This Friday, if it goes through, and I'm not sure, I am not sure, and you'll see why. Candace Owens is going to perform an orchiectomy. That's a castration, for those of you who don't know, on Pickles Wilson, a.k.a. Andy, the blood sport black belt sensei of Bullshido, the most vile, the most arrogant, not so much talented, but beyond this arrogance, this pure 100% arrogance, an unearned, what would you call it? An unearned faith, love of a talent we've yet to see in one of the vilest of people, vilest, most arrogant, low rent, low rung, not top shelf, not particularly skilled in rhetoric. He finds himself as the skilled rhetorician, fancies himself as a debater. It's incredible. This word debate has been used a lot. It's come up. It's not just an argument. It's a debate. I've never thought of any of these as debates. It means something. It's not just. It doesn't mean you're just talking about it or you're arguing. It's a debate is a different word, but he took it on, and you would think somebody who said, "Well, I'm not just discussing this. I'm going to debate," and then goes like this. Come on, bring it on. It's like, okay, and then almost like those classic YouTube cases where somebody goes up to a professional fighter and says, "Come on," and then the fighter just destroys them. That's what we're seeing now. It is beyond anything that we've seen. It is beyond anything that we've seen. So this Friday, we're going to go through this. So you have multiple arenas. And by the way, thank you for joining us. Please make sure you hit that like button. I got to say this. Liking this changes anything, because I have been there with you and you have been there with me. And this has been one of the most joyous. We're not even close to any kind of cessation. But please like the video. I've got to say this. Also, make sure you're subscribed. People are unsubscribed left and right. I don't know why. Sometimes they'll say, we're purging bots. You're not a bot. Anyway, make sure you check to make sure you're subscribed and also hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Okay. So Candace comes along, and we're going to take you through this today. And I always think, if ever you've watched for the first time, this is it. If ever you've said to yourself, what the hell are they talking about with this Candace and this? And I don't know. What is this about? Today's the day. Today is the day. Today is the day for us to go through this. So what do we have here? Well, let me bring you up to speed, which is, I think, very, very interesting. First and foremost, we have this guy, and if you notice today, this is the simplest theme. This is called, What Have I Done? What the hell have I done? What is the purpose? What was I thinking? Because this man is so timorous, so scared, so unsure, and doesn't understand the output, doesn't understand how you look. Half of the battle is your countenance, your attitude. You see it in courtrooms. That guy knows what he's doing. That guy doesn't. That person, it's like when you walk into, never forget, there's a friend of mine who was a stage manager for years on Broadway, for years. He says, the next time you go to a Broadway show, especially if there's a chorus or an ensemble, watch who sticks out. When people walk across the stage, one person will say, that person, man, woman, young girl, you don't know why. Something connects, something, and that's what's critical. And he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Candace has this. I know I'm sounding gratuitously pro Candace. Sue me. Candace has a complete, watch her earliest performances ever, when she appeared before Congress. This is a young lady who, I don't know how much experience she had. She has a natural ability to just seize it, say, I'm in charge. Watch her. Watch her. Watch this one when she was on with, it was great, with Charlie. She was on with Crystal Ball. And I think, what's his name? The ex-CIA dude. Anyway, she just, because they tried this leftist stuff and it just didn't work. See, there are people who are hacks from the right, hacks from the left. And when you do this, you're playing something that's very formulaic, very, very, bumper sticker, playbook, cookie cutter, echo chamber. You're reading from the script. Watch her. She's incredible. She's just got it. And if you don't think if you think I'm being overly gratuitous or overly nice, just watch her, see what I'm talking about. Okay. So for reasons I don't understand, Andy Pickles Wilson decides, and from the pickle, I don't want to go through this again. You've seen this a million times, but he was on this show, whatever, with a bunch of young ladies who are, I don't know if they're OnlyFans. I don't know who they were. I just saw them. And there's a jar of pickles or something. I don't know why. I don't even know the context. Why is there a jar? Who knows? And they handed to him, Mr. Tough Guy, and he can't take them off. Anyways, it was one of those moments that, as you know, we live in a world today of testosterone and masculine and SEAL Team 6 and tattoos and hats worn backwards. Yeah. But that means a lot. And that will be his legacy forever. So let me tell you, in case you haven't been paying attention, all of a sudden there's this weird sort of thing. I don't know what it is, but Andy decides he's going to come in and try to announce his involvement, if you will. And I think it's here.
Witnesses.
Nope, this is
in
not.
Fact.
Hang on a minute. I think, could it be? No, this isn't it. Nope, that's not it. How could I have missed something so beauteous as this? Hang on a minute. By God, I'm going to get to the bottom. I'm going to play this. I can't believe this. This is the best of the best, because you've got to see this. This will show you everything. Talk amongst yourself. I had everything so perfectly lined up. It's like when you have your clothes on your bed, you're all ready to go. Anyway, where is this? This is here is me. I can't believe it. I missed it. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to show you this one. This was the piece. And I'm going to show you this. I have to show you. I'm sorry. Please talk amongst yourself. How's everybody doing? Great. I cannot believe this. I'm going to slap myself silly for having made you wait. Your day is too important for you to wait around for me. This is what happens when you do everything by yourself. You do everything by yourself. You have no help. That's okay. That's all right. No. I don't want any sympathy. You know what I want. Anyway, let's go. Here we go. Just a minute. This is This is coming. There we go. All righty. We're going to go like this. And then I'm going to put, there we go. Oh, yeah. He is so good. Oh, he's so good. And this is, of course, this is Pickles. I'm going to call this Pickles speech. Pickles. Remember on Dick Van Dyke, Buddy Sorrell's wife, Pickles? Ask before your time. Ask your parents. In any event, my friends, here we go. Here we go. This is the man explaining what he did. And also, I want you to notice his countenance, dare I say. Listen to his confidence. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Let me give everyone an update of exactly where we are. A few weeks ago, Brian Atlas, a friend of mine who runs the Whatever podcast,
this is so confusing. I am so bad.
Offered up $100,000 for Candace Owens to debate with me about the murder of Charlie
Hang on a
on
minute.
his platform.
Okay, let me try this.
He eventually raised it to $150,000, to which I said I would match it if we could actually debate on neutral
I'm
ground.
sorry again. I'm going to do this again.
I expressed
I want you to hear everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. This is my first time. Be nice. Be nice to me. This is the man. This is the guy who is coming across. This is the guy who is saying, I'm confident. Now watch this.
Let me give everyone an update of exactly where we are.
Now, first of all, what's the feeling you get? What's the theme of this? Happy? Confident? Funereal? Hostage? What is this? Tell me. What is the feeling you get? Just right off the bat. Black background, the tone, his usual bravado, morose, sad, timorous, scared. Where is his normal iracund, his irascent sense? Morose, lugubrious, missing person update. I like that. Almost like his goldfish died. Bad news, scared shitless. This is very good. Disappearing into darkness. That's it. Very, very good. Ooh, very, very good. Very interesting. Death, Darth. I don't know what Darth is. Maybe death. Lost his bravado. Scared right off the bat. He is exactly how many seconds? A half a second into this? A half a second into it. And already I'm thinking, oh my God, he's defeated. He's done. He's finished. He's through. He's done. He's finished. He's through. Okay? And oh, my friends, it gets better. Listen to this.
A few weeks ago, Brian Atlas, a friend of mine who runs the Whatever podcast, offered up $100,000 for Candace Owens to debate with me about the murder of Charlie Kirk on his platform.
Look at this. Feel this. Feel the sense of, oh no. All it needs to do is kind of a Nathan Thurm. I knew that.
He eventually raised it to $150,000, to which I said I would match it if we could actually debate on neutral ground. I expressed this story recently on the Joe Rogan podcast. Candace and her fans' reactions were volatile, to say the least.
And I'll never understand, why are you on Joe Rogan? Why? Why? I don't understand that. Joe, you've got top quality, top brass, top shelf, and you get this guy? Anywho.
She issued a strange counter that I needed to pay her $500,000 and that TPUSA needed to, quote, claim me.
Yes. And I don't think that happened. I'm not sure. Maybe you can correct me on this one. Somebody wrote, hello, darkness, my old friend. Brilliant, all right?
Now, I don't work for TPUSA, so
No.
I couldn't grant that concession.
But I work for them when they pay me as their, get this, their debating coach. This is their debating coach. The man behind the curtain. This is their debating coach, the master debater.
It would have been a lie. She followed with an offer of me paying $300,000 to debate her at her home on the topic of if Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk and if he was a federal patsy or not. Obviously, this gives massive advantages to Owens.
Why? Women, why?
But I'm never one to back down from a debate challenge.
Wait a minute. Why? What is the debate? Where? The venue? That and maybe the fact that he can't smoke? No, I don't see. He doesn't. Why? But you're a professional. You're the greatest. You're into blood sports. You're there's blood sport, black belt, rhetorician. Come on, man.
even if I think the terms are fundamentally unfair.
What's unfair? He never tells us. Tell me.
We entered into negotiations, and during those negotiations, Joe Rogan contacted us both.
By the way, he insisted on negotiating online or something like that, where because he was just petrified. Both people say, "Come on, let's go, let's do it." Not him. No. He was provision, condition, one after another.
Asking to host our debate. This is perhaps something you guys don't know. Obviously, I thought that changed everything, as that would guarantee the biggest platform for both of us to make our case on neutral ground. Unsurprisingly to me, Candace Owens declined. No control, you see. She insisted it be at her home still, even after Rogan said.
But when it declined, why? No. He does, again, notice what he doesn't tell you?
He would come in on his off day to do the debate, and I would still give her the $300,000. You would think if she was actually trying to change the minds of normies and reach a new audience,
Normies.
that's where she would go, but sadly, no.
No, of course not. Oh, well.
After many rounds of negotiations and a new moderator stepping in who assures us it'll be fair, we came to an agreement. I went ahead and sent the $300,000, and it has been confirmed by her staff and to us that it has been sent.
How's about received?
I am
How about
going to
cash?
clear the air on a few things. I wasn't some Charlie Kirk fanboy. In fact, I had and still have my disagreements with him.
What were they? I'll tell
But
you
I
those.
always thought TPUSA did way more good than it did harm to the
What?
conservative movement.
What did they do?
But I will never forget the series of TikTok invasions I did post Charlie's death, only to watch the lunatic left laughing and mocking and having the time of their lives watching the spiral of chaos that came after. It was enraging, to say the least.
What, is Candace that?
I know I'm not a very nice man.
No.
I get that.
Correct, sir.
But I am a very kind man.
Yeah.
I
And I'm
lamented
Eleanor
many
Roosevelt.
times to my wife how god-awful the family and friends of Charlie must feel
By
about what
gum.
happened to him after he died.
Going out on a limb with that one.
Trying to find some new normal under intense media
Sure,
scrutiny, balancing duty and obligation
Of course.
with remorse, regret, and overwhelming sadness.
Mm-hmm.
My stated objective for my platform, The Crucible, has been unwavering, and I've never strayed from its goal.
What is this platform?
Destroy the left.
Oh!
Take them on everywhere on their own turf, outside their turf, at their events.
By
in safe
himself.
Spaces, challenge them everywhere and destroy their ideas.
He and his wife,
Be
Rachel, they're going
unrelenting,
to
never stop,
destroy the left.
and not one step
Alrighty.
back. This woman, Candace, has been terrorizing both the widow of Charlie Kirk
Oh,
and the
shut
organization
up.
he left behind.
That
It's obvious
trope.
her stated goal is to destroy the largest conservative college and high school outreach program currently in existence. Do I disagree with a lot of TPUSA ideas?
Well, name
do.
one. What?
I would rather try to change them, though, than burn down the only organization in my lifetime to really get a foothold in academia, the thing conservatives have wanted for 60 years. In the following weeks, I will be relentlessly attacked from the Candace Owens cult.
Well, watch what he's
daring
doing.
to put their leaders
Watch what
in
he's doing.
question, and for daring to question the questioners. I accept that as a side effect of challenging what has become a powerful industry of conspiracy peddling true crime nonsense, which has a sycophantic and cult-like following. They have been at it for days,
Days.
going through everything they can possibly dig up about me to hurt me. as
What
there
a
is
wuss.
multiple
Come on.
millions of dollars on the line.
Sorry,
Creators,
but you're a tough guy.
and they will stop at nothing to protect
You're a
their
tough guy.
interests,
You're a mean.
regardless
I'm not a
of the
nice
lives they
man,
destroy along
but
the
I'm
way.
tough. Damn it.
Many creators
Well,
and
you're
private
saying
individuals
terrible
have
things
reached out
about
to
me.
help me with this financial burden.
You
I
know,
understand
help
the
me.
fallout, which is likely to come for me and
I
my
didn't have that
family
money.
for doing the right thing
Help me.
when it mattered the most.
For the love of God, what did I
Now, to
do?
be clear, I have already sent Candace the $300,000 and fulfilled my end of
Say
the
it again.
contract with her.
Say it again.
If you guys want to help me in bearing that cost
Help me.
and help cushion the overwhelming attacks from her sycophants,
How?
here's where you can donate.
Why is that going
Many
to
of us are
cushion?
in this fight together, win or lose. Maybe I can do something to change its course for the entirety of the conservative movement. Promise made, promise kept.
Ooh.
Thank you for your time.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go through this, shall we? Let's go through this. But before we do, this important word from our sponsor. Well, midterm elections are coming. Control of Congress is on the line. And if there's one thing financial markets hate, it's uncertainty. Between now and election day, we could see serious volatility in the markets and the economy. And you owe it to yourself and your family to have a plan. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Listen to me. For more than a decade, Noble Gold Investments has helped Americans like you diversify with physical gold and silver. They make the process absolutely simple, straightforward, and secure. And for America's 250th, Noble Gold is celebrating by sending you a free 10-ounce U.S. independent silver bar when you open a new qualified account. Just mention Lionel. That's Lionel. Call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or visit the special Noble Gold Investments Lionel link below. Election day is coming. Don't let it arrive without a plan. And remember, there's always a risk of investment, and there's no guarantee of any kind. Where do I even begin? Where does one begin to go through that? First of all, your thoughts, your take, your immediate, your feel. What do you think? What was your feel as to this? What was your take? What was your idea? What were your thoughts? Is Candace at all quaking in her boots? Do you think he made his, what was his position? Remember, in case you just tuned in, what did she say that was clearly unfair? What did she say to garner or maintain some kind of a benefit or some type of unfair claim? What was it? Remember what she says. I'm pregnant, was it 7 months or so? I'm not going to travel. You got to come here and you can't smoke. And that's it. And that's it. And they also wanted to say, because remember, she said, the reason why I want you to be a part, I want TPUSA to be a part of at least claiming you, so to speak. The reason why I want you to be claimed is that I don't want them saying, hey, don't look at us. That's him. That's not us. That's, You see what I'm saying? That's, hey, that's not him. He's not with us. Well, what's the point? They're hiring him to teach them how to debate. See the way they come in, they come out. He's never been held accountable for what he has to say. He just spews this stuff. He's not I don't want to say a professional kind of anything. He hasn't really, this is the most serious anybody's ever taken him. Ever taken him. And you would think that he would go to somebody maybe in the business and say, listen, I'm being accorded an opportunity that I don't want to miss. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What don't I do? He's taking no lessons. He's planning nothing. I promise you. And a lot of people are looking at it. His friends are saying, hey, that's great. Hey, good for you, man. Great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Now, this is the man who, of course, is all over the place. This is a guy who's all over the place. Remember, this is a guy who said this. Remember, you people don't remember. This is a guy who said this famous statement. Let me get rid of this one. He said, has nothing to do with Erica Kirk. She's a terrible leader and a femcon like the rest of TPUSA and a moron. The principle here is what I'm speaking to. And this was in April of this year, April 5th. Okay? April of this. This is what, 7 months or so, right? 7 months afterward, right? So this is the guy who was just absolutely execrating anybody who would dare blaspheme or in any way libel or defame this poor woman, calls her a moron, a terrible leader, and a femcon. He likes the word con, Christ con, paleocon. I don't even knows what a paleocon is. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Whatever he says today, don't worry about it because an hour later it's going to change. That's his thing. So then later on, guess what? The master rhetorician, the master of logic, comes back and he clarifies this. He wants to expiate his lack of clarity and pellucidity in his particular indictment against Ms. Kirk. He comes up with this butte. Feminists always claim, okay, right off the bat, first word, okay, fine. Feminists, we'll give them a word. Feminists always claim misogyny doesn't protect women. Feminists claim misogyny doesn't protect women. I think most people would say that true misogyny doesn't protect women. What do you say? Ladies, do you think misogyny helps or hurts women? Talk amongst yourself. But here I am claiming that Erica Kirk is too retarded to have participated in Charlie's assassination, proving the claim wrong entirely. Yes, this is my real position, backed with facts, and I will devastate Candace with them. So she's going to claim in a kind of a unique way that basically he's saying, Erica, remember, this is important. Follow this one. Erica is too stupid, she's retarded to have been in any way complicit or an accomplice or in any way an agent to what happened. See what I'm saying? He's helping her. See what I'm saying? He's helping her. He's helping her. He says, see, misogyny is good. It's kind of like a vaccine. See, if you're a misogynist, you think women are retarded, so therefore they can't be convicted or associated with anything that involves a certain degree of mental acumen, which she doesn't have because she's retarded. So see, it's good. Does this make any sense to you? Do you see what's going on here? This is the logician, the rhetorician. This is the man with impeccable linear thinking. What is he saying? The most monumentally sensitive stuff I've got. I mean, if you just breathe on this here is like, wow. Plus you lose all your stuff. Okay, so let's go through this, all right? Let's go through some of the most incredible. You got what I'm saying right now? This is I can't say this enough. I am more impressed with his wife, whom he yells and says to shut up. I'm more impressed with Rachel than I am this Jadrul. For reasons that should be absolutely obvious, right? It's a very, very simple thing. Let's not get too complicated. This was made. He's now claiming he wanted Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said, okay, look, I'll come down on my day off. Look, enough with this bullshit. Let's just do it. It doesn't matter. Now, remember, they picked Patrick Bet David. Why? I have no earthly idea. None. I don't know what. Why? I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't. Now, a couple of things here which are very important. I want you to watch some other little references from Andy, just to get a better feel for him. Because now, you see, once you're in this, for the most part, people are saying, who is this guy? Okay, you've got your... And listen, everybody's got something that they've said in the past that they might be necessarily not that proud of, but let's look at really vintage Pickles Wilson, okay? Here's one.
Did you watch the FBI brief?
The one.
Now watch this. This is very good. He loves darkness. Have you noticed this? That's okay. Everybody's got their style. He loves darkness and the cigarettes and the whole bit. Okay. This is what? Sadly, 2 days after the slaughter of the great Charlie Kirk.
Did you watch the FBI brief?
The one that was like an hour ago or something before you.
Yeah, it was real. It was so bad.
Yeah, where
they have nothing. It's disgusting.
Why?
And I feel terrible for the Kirks. They just want they at least at this point just want the basic justice of apprehending the suspect. And this is terrible, man.
Why?
Do you think that there's a chance that they don't catch the guy?
No chance.
Now listen. Look at this. That prediction aged well. Listen to why. Very interesting, because I want you to pay very, very close attention as to why he thinks they will catch him.
They're going to get
him. Let me tell you why I think that. There have been people who have murdered cats online, and internet sleuths will figure this shit out. If the FBI and law enforcement doesn't solve this, you good people on the internet will solve this. And you'll put clues together which will assist them in figuring out who this person is. In fact, I'm willing to make the prediction tonight that the FBI only solves this through the help of internet sleuths like you guys. They're not going to give justice to the Kirks. You guys have to give justice to the Kirks because this is fucking insane. The FBI has very little. Law enforcement at this event was a joke. I watched the first FBI brief. Brian, they said there were 6 cops there for a crowd of 3,000. And then they said, well, Kirk has his own private security team. Well, that security team is looking for problems from the crowd of people rushing the stage, things like that. They're not up there looking for snipers and this type of thing.
So he's already blaming the government. That's good. Make a note of that. Make a note of that. And he said, remember this, the internet sleuthing, the sleuths of the internet, they will be the ones, the crowdsourced geniuses, the citizen and civilian intellectual militias, the vigilantes of truth. They're going to get to the bottom.
That's not their function. That's police officers' function. This was a failure at basically every level. It was a failure at every level. Remember that all the earning capacity of this man was completely eliminated in seconds. And remember that it's not just the horrific torture of his family having to see that live. I heard a story and confirmed that it looks like this is true, that when the shot was fired, his youngest daughter was terrified, and guess where she ran? She ran right towards the arms of her dad, and she was caught. And what I heard on the ground was she said, why can't I get to daddy? Most horrific thing you can ever imagine.
She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is.
Am I wrong, or is that just unbearable for anybody else? It's so...
listening to this guy talk?
my God, no, just the upspeak at the end of every single period. Continue, Mr. Enigmatic.
And just like a lot of those Antifa members,
This was a major mistake on behalf of TPUSA.
How did anybody ever think that Blake Neff was effective at this? And how did they ever say, keep going? You're good. You're good. Is it me or is he getting better? He's kind of growing into his job. Immediately, he comes across, dare I say, a tad spintry, the whole group. And let me tell you something. Candace has made some pretty interesting comments as far as those individuals who might have been involved in, those whose own sexuality might be a bit predatory, dare I say, and not conventional. I'll just leave it at that.
None of these people are Charlie Kirk. Again, they don't have the gravitas to ignore these high-level, prolific streamers and commentators.
Including you, Blake. What are you talking about?
Who were on par with Kirk as far as social status went. They don't have that gravitas there anymore. Go ahead.
Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship. And
see, now he was a friend. Now she's a friend, and she's not a friend. See, this is something you got to understand. They forget what they've said, which is the old ridiculous adage that says the best thing you can do is to tell the truth because you don't have to remember what you've said before in the past. That's why.
Stop what she was doing.
This is no offense to TPUSA, though I'm sure many TPUSA supporters are going to be offended by this. But
TPUSA, yes.
This guy is a really weak spokesman. Him speaking to this, it's very weak. Right? He doesn't have the...
What? Like you?
That's the right way to say it. He doesn't have the commanding presence
like
in which
you
to deliver this counter message in a way that people will really focus on every word that he's saying. He doesn't have kind of the, I don't know what you call it, the it factor. He doesn't have it. This guy is not a person who's going to command attention, who's going to drive people to listen to him.
Remember this.
He's not particularly articulate, and this response is somewhat weak.
Not like you, Churchill.
Not weak because what's being said isn't true. Weak because the person who's delivering it is not good at delivering it.
Oh. This is, see, that you can't write this hubristic nonsense like this. You can't. You couldn't have asked for this better. You can't. He said this. He did this. The man who looks like he's in a hostage video saying, and I took I'm gonna get you, Candace. And I don't have to smoke. Smoking. Think about this. Have you ever in your life heard somebody say, nobody would say, I don't care if you burn. Remember that one? Remember that joke? It's just incredible. Now remember Frank Turek, Tourette syndrome? Remember this guy? See, they've said stuff in the past. This is another one. This and by the way, thank God for the crowdsourcers who come up with this incredible stuff. Watch this.
Witnesses. In fact, the witnesses and the evidence that we have show, unless something crazy comes up, that the person who killed Charlie was Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
Now, okay, remember this. And by the way, you can't see this because I'm sorry, these are tiny. He's got his Freedom T-shirt on, which I think is almost blasphemous.
And he killed.
So he's just going to turn and then accuse Tyler of it.
Killed him because
why?
He didn't like what Charlie was saying about transgenderism.
Right. Don't you understand? The reason why Tyler did this, and we'll get to this in a moment, is because he didn't like his message about transgenderism. You understand this? This is important. This is just absolutely watch and disbelief.
And yet Tyler never once brought up Charlie Kirk's name to Lance Twiggs, his supposed lover and roommate.
Yes.
Lance said that when questioned. No, we never talked about Charlie Kirk.
Well,
Tyler never mentioned Charlie Kirk.
Well,
did he talk to you about like trans ideology? No, we never. He never talked to me about that. That was never brought up.
Oh, shit.
But he was so pissed, supposedly, that he planned this murder in 2 weeks only on this issue. Charlie Kirk, trans, gay, ideology.
Well,
but
Frank?
Never came up between him and Lance.
Look at this. He's not even moving.
Huh.
Look.
Got it.
And he was involved in a transgender relationship.
Huh.
So that appears to be the evidence now. It still has to go to trial.
Yeah.
By the way, was he really transgender? I thought transgender meant you were not versus non-binary. I've never had had a hard time with that. Is non-binary a part of transgender? Transgender is I'm a feller, but I dress like a woman, or I was born a woman and I dress like a dude. He sure cleaned himself up, because remember, they're gonna sit him down, and when Lance takes the stand, they're gonna say, "You're the transgender." Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're a transgender. Yeah, and Charlie went out of his way to kill him because of you. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, you. He doesn't look like the guy with the long greasy hair. Remember that reference that one of the workers said? The one who's kind of bulkier, and we'll get to that in a moment. See, this you can't write.
There's no evidence of that either. We've never seen anything that even could remotely come close to evidence that Tyler and Lance were actually in a relationship.
Do you grasp what's happening? Bradley Oplin, my dear friend, says Lionel, Candace isn't working us. Charlie's assassination unleashed her Jungian shadow. She's off. I know what that off means. She's off. She's off for justice, and she's off to see the wizard, and I thank you for that. It's incredible. It's incredible. Now remember, I'm merely looking at the people who are the, dare I say, the inquisitors, the Torquemada of all of this. These are the people who were involved. These are the folks who were involved in this. These are the ones. You got to ask yourself, how does this work? Remember this PAX week, this absolutely confounded everyone. This on the left is what the dude looked like. Now, I don't know about hair. I don't know about all this stuff. But the guy on the left, the feller on the left, is the same feller on the right when the image is not compressed. And this was the fellow, this was the case where, even of all people, This was so sad. And I'm so shocked he was played like this. But Viva says, hey, Candace, this is AI. For the love of Pete, what are you talking about? Do you see how this has collapsed the sensibilities of a lot of people who I used to think were pretty smart people? And now they've lost their mind. Is it because they're being paid? We always think that. Are they fed sloppers? Are they what? What possibly could be the reason for this? This is the part of this which drives us crazy. Remember, Candace went into this not expecting any of this. Nothing. We live in a world today where we don't know what to believe. Not that this has anything to do with anything, but did you see this picture of Anne Hathaway? A lot of people are saying this is a fake belly button. I don't know. I'm thinking, is anything real today? Is anything real? Does anything exist? Now, what is even more phenomenal, one of the best ever, one of the best compilations, one of the best, I guess you would say maybe the best, what's the word? What would be the word? One of the best, hang on a minute. I guess summaries, closing arguments, you might want to say, out of everything. Watch this. This is absolutely beyond brilliant.
Stands, they want us to believe.
Now remember who this is. This is, you'll see his name. Oh, God. Let me get rid of this. This was a young man. I hope you'll see his name. This is so brilliant. And I want to make sure I get to this right now. His name is, hang on a minute. I want to make sure. Because every now and then, sometimes we'll see these. I don't really see the name, and I want to give everybody to give them their attention and their yes. This is Artifacts Memoriam, who used to work with, he was one of the video folks from TPUSA. Now sit back and also watch, if this were played as a closing argument, just this as to the preposterous nature, please, ladies and gentlemen, remove everything from your brain, remove everything from your mind, remove everything from anything even remotely that was there as your, perhaps maybe your initial beliefs. Watch in horror, not in horror, but in admiration, this.
As it currently stands, they want us to believe that Tyler Robinson slept at home and then woke himself up before 4 a.m. on September 10th of 2025 because he had to leave his house in St. George before 4 a.m. to make it up to campus when they then catch him on walking by the neighbor's house at 8:07 a.m. That's that TMZ released footage. 8:07 a.m. Gets back in his car, pulls into the garage, finds the surveillance cameras in the garage, en route to go approach a Turning Point employee. It's like, I'm going to wear my favorite shirt to approach a Turning Point employee because I intend to kill their boss. He said, apparently, hey, is this where the Charlie Kirk event is going to be? And she probably was like, yeah, it is. He then went to Chick-fil-A on campus. We haven't seen any footage from that yet. We haven't been told much about that. My assumption is he had a meal before he decided that it was time to do crime. He then drives off campus, parks, changes his outfit, puts on a long sleeve black shirt, puts on blue jeans.
Brilliant.
And he says to himself, before we do crime, we do Wordle. That's a fact. At 11:28, he sent his Wordle score to his friend.
Wow.
The word of the day was pouty.
I'm buying it.
Then he shoves a broken down German 98 Mauser into his pants, and he starts limping back onto campus with a new hat, a new backpack, and we all know what happens next. He then jumps off of the building after killing Charlie Kirk, lands onto solid ground Like he had been practicing that maneuver. And what we know for certain is that he then changes back into his maroon shirt, but he leaves the jeans on. He's then spotted at Dairy Queen. He really loves that shirt. He then departs Orem and drives 3 hours down to Panguitch, to the Cowboy Steakhouse, where he seats himself at the bar and he orders a steak combo with a soft drink. I want to emphasize that. No alcohol, presumably because he doesn't want to drive irresponsibly.
Responsible.
And, you know, risking getting a DUI. He probably doesn't want to hurt anybody. So after that steak, he drives back up to Orem. I mean, whew, long drive. Another 3 hours, this time because he wants to retrieve his rifle during what is the largest federal manhunt of my lifetime and probably every single person who's listening to this podcast lifetime. But Tyler's feeling lucky because he's wearing his maroon shirt. It's his favorite shirt. He returns to the scene of the crime, and if I am understanding now, Tyler stopped his car to ask the police officer a question. So he commits a murder, drives for 3 hours, and is feeling confident enough to actually ask the police officer a question.
Make sure
he's been awake for a long time now. At some point, he gives up and he says, I'm not going to retrieve my rifle. And he decides to drive the 4 hours back to his apartment in St. George. So we can make a safe estimate that he left Orem around 1:35 a.m. And then he drives back to St. George and arrives earliest at 5 a.m. I'm just wondering if anybody tested Tyler Robinson for cocaine or meth. Because according to this breakdown, he's been awake for 25 hours straight, during which he has driven an approximate 13 hours and 20 minutes. 13 hours and 20 minutes of driving, up for 25 hours. Now, for clarity, in 13 hours and 20 minutes, you can drive from New Orleans, Louisiana to Chicago in that time frame. You can drive from Atlanta, Georgia to New York City in that time frame. Tyler Robinson? No, he's just driving about. He decided he just was going to go around Utah after committing his first assassination. And if you're thinking, okay, 25 hours is long, he probably then went to sleep, you'd be wrong. You'd be very wrong. If you're thinking, well, he must have at least, when he finally got home, showered and changed his shirt, you'd be forgetting that this is his favorite one. What happens, according to the narrative, is he stays home for an hour before he heads back out again, this time driving about an hour away to Cedar City, because that's where he's captured on gas station footage filling up his tank. And we don't actually have an answer for why he went to get gas that far away.
Yes.
Apparently, this young man just loves to drive. So why get gas local when you can get gas an hour away? And then we know he will drive back home. This is according to Lance's testimony. Lance will testify that he sees him when he wakes up. They're face to face in their apartment. He still hasn't changed his shirt, I don't think. And we're just supposed to accept it. I don't know, guys. I think that one day many books will be written regarding the stupidity, the sheer stupidity of the FedSlop. And I'm probably gonna write a book entitled "I Went All the Way to Orem to Commit an Assassination and All I Got Was a Maroon T-Shirt?" Because that's what this feels like. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this. If you are going to commit a capital offense,
listen.
Please remember to wear your second favorite shirt.
Absolutely brilliant. This is the link right here on X. Please follow him. Artifacts. Is it Memoriam Artifacts? This is, Memoriarum. Artifacts Memoriarum. This was unbelievable. This is so he calls himself theoretical fascist. You've likely seen my work, part-time autist, full-time American. I previously TPUSA Charlie Kirk. These moments, more than anything else, convince a jury to say, now let me ask you, do you have any question? Is there somebody who's listening, seriously, who says, nope, That's wrong. Or just because that happened doesn't in any way change my opinion. Steph says, Lionel, hang on a minute. I love you. Lionel, you would have been fun if you were a moderator. And Baron, there for a part of Candace's team, LOL. You would easily stump Andrew with your vocabulary skills. Well, thank you. But no. I don't. I want it to be. No. Because I would do things that would be inadvertently construed as no. I want to say, listen, Pickles, whatever you want. But let me ask you something. Where are the people? Because every now and then there's some poor troll who says, I'm going to go on this, sir. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to go, this is crazy. And Candace is, I know she's just psychopath or whatever. Is there anyone here, listen to me, who in any way believes for a moment? Anybody? Does anybody believe for a moment that this is legitimate? Is there anybody who says, I still hold to my conviction, I still hold to my belief? This is absolutely, positively, 100%. Anybody? Does anybody? Is there anybody? Is there anybody? Anyone? I'm serious. This is very important. Is there anybody who actually believes that this is clear cut, absolutely 100%, case closed? How is this even remotely possible? Do you think, by the way, and I'm just saying, do you, and again, I'm risking sounding very unfair. Do you believe that the defense has watched any of this, cares anything about this? That closing argument, that story, and by the way, they could object, they could say something didn't happen, you had, but if it's 10% correct, none of this makes any sense. And yet, Donald Trump Jr., Erica Kirk, they went there asking for, first of all, she forgives him, but wants him to be immediately and summarily dispatched. Now, lest you think Erica, and by the way, I was saying, Erica, what you should be doing is you should be trying your best to maybe try to rekindle, reconnect, redirect the attention from you and everybody else to TPUSA, which after all, this was Charlie's endeavor and Charlie's love. I want you to watch this. And I want you to try to imagine you've never seen this woman before and ask yourself, do you believe what she is saying? Do you feel the sincerity of her moving message?
9/10, as you can imagine, and as you have felt, and as some of you are a result of, we have had a massive influx of individuals saying, I have no idea how to help, but I want to help, and I'm not in high school, and I'm not in college. You have to understand that when Charlie built Turning Point USA...
Let me stop. I'm sorry. I want you to watch this. This is like how do I say this? This is like the coach who was in the locker room going back and forth. All right, folks, understand something. We had a hell of a season this year. We're down. There's no way we're going to win the child, but right now we're going to go out there and we're going to do the best we can. A lot of people say we can't do it, but I want you to do this. I want you to listen very carefully. It's like your hands in the pocket. It's like I'm lecturing you. Listen, don't make me repeat this. Here's what you're going to do. Listen to me carefully. Forget the love and the twinkle of the eye. Listen and listen good. Here's the instructions. Do not make me say this again. You see what I'm saying? They never say to her, now listen, go out there and be nice. Love these people. Thank them. When she does that twinkly, nice stuff, she's very good at this. Listen to her cadence. Listen to the way she speaks. And this is not to be mean. Remember, she's putting herself out as the head of TPUSA.
Post 9/10, as you can imagine, and as you have felt, and as some of you are a result of, we have had a massive influx of individuals saying, I have no idea how to help, but I want to help, and I'm not in high school, and I'm not in college. You have to understand that when Charlie built Turning Point USA, he did it with the mindset and the vision of having Turning Point USA be something that will be able to have you holistically a part of the organization your entire life. So for Turning Point Education, we have something for the little ones from 0 to whatever number.
0 to whatever number. 0. She's going to turn her coterie of Blakes and others loose on your children from 0 to whatever number there is. Children.
And then we have high school, and then we have college. We always have TPO Safe Faith. But communities is something where in your community, it's almost like a community chapter. Again, another new program that we've implemented. The best thing about a community chapter is that the high school and college chapters can also be a part of it. But what's interesting is within communities, you have 4 different programs. You have RISE, again, the minority outreach. You have young professionals, which is important. You have heroes, which is our veterans, our first responders.
Okay.
And then you have families. So it encompasses all of that. What's so special is that when you graduate or when you leave, you can still always be a part of the Turning Point USA family.
So long as, now, this is not meant, that, by the way, was probably one of her best, because I have been saying for the longest time, listen, Erica, if you insist upon doing anything, at least talk about what you're going to do. At least talk about what you're planning to do. Carrie, by the way, says, please do a segment on extradition laws with USA and Israel. There doesn't seem to be any solid laws when they all bail to that country. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We'll stop what we're doing now and talk about extradition laws to Israel. Okay, it's very important. But yeah, one day we're going to be talking about that. Somebody was also posting things on Humana drug stuff, which is important, obviously important. But how do I say this? We're talking about this. I mean, I'm not, you can say whatever you want, but this is, let me see if I can remind you of something. Extradition, this is the biggest murder trial today. This is the biggest true crime there is. And I want to remind you of something, which is very, very sad.
Mild pushback.
I want you to think about this for a minute. This is a very, very, very sad story. This was a period. This was a piece. And I want you to remind yourself of this. This breaks my heart. This was Charlie at his chair where he did his show, where these interlopers have basically, they're squatting on his name and on his show. And I've turned the sound down because I think I've turned the sound on. Yes, there we go. Because there's some music or something, but I just want you to watch his face. Look at his eyes. What do you think he's thinking? I think this was May. I think it was May. Look at this. What do you think he's thinking? He knows. See how he's kind of looking down? He's not looking straight forward. He's kind of looking down. He's thinking. He knows. This is what they took away from Erica and his family and the rest of us. This is what it was. This is the guy. This man. That's the part that makes me, that's the part I don't want you to ever forget about. That's it. All this other kind of stuff about, whether this guy comes along or whether this bullshit artist, Pickles Wilson, whatever. This is what it's about. Why do we do this? Because of Charlie. Not because we don't like Erica. Erica has nothing to do with it. And by the way, for the record, for the umpteenth gazillion time, nobody is saying, I am not saying, Candace is not saying, nobody is ever saying that Erica had anything to do, that she was complicit in the murder, the dispatch, the assassination of her husband. Period. End of discussion. Nobody is saying that. Nobody. Or TPUSA for that matter. What they did afterwards to act strange, to act in ways that are not consistent with somebody who, that may be a different story, but that doesn't impute, or involve necessarily guilt or association. So let's just get that out of the way. Don't fall into this Dana Lash business about widow and all that. That's a tropism that makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It's a trope. It's a meme. It's an idea. It just doesn't work anymore. The bottom line is this. Charlie Kirk was slaughtered like a dog in the street. That's what happens. He doesn't deserve that. And all I know is he's dead. And this isn't about laughing about favorite t-shirts. No, we're not laughing about it. We're showing this to show you the main stupidity of the issue. But what this is about is something which is more important. This is about trying your best to solve what happened. And we are simply not going to let another example of the government, the media, sweeping this under the rug, so to speak, let's move along. Let's talk about Israel. No, you can talk about anything you want. We're talking about this. More people are fascinated by this. And let me also tell you, when the trial gets going, remember what I'm saying. This is fun now. This is fun now. When I say fun, this is interesting. When you start hearing everything from, I don't know if they're going to be doing a jury selection, if they're going to be doing voir dire, but from opening statements through witness interrogation and examination, to the resting of the state's case, to the defense's case, motions for judgment of acquittal, all that stuff, and then the closing argument. You're going to see things along here that are going to blow your mind. This is nothing. Because this isn't even, you're going to, provided Tyler's alive, provided he's not dispatched, provided he is not eliminated, provided all that, this is going to simply blow your mind. And the reason for it is very, very simple. You cannot believe what's going to happen. You will not believe what happened to Charlie. You will not believe what happened before your very eyes, and how all of these people, and I blame these morons. Let's talk about this Pickles Wilson for a moment. This son of a bitch is getting in the way of us trying to find out who killed this man. Now, I don't know if he wants to do it, if he figures, look, I don't really care what it is. I'll just jump in as a debater, as a master debater. That's what I do. But what you're doing is you're veering attention away. This is not about Erica. This is about what happened. And the prosecutor is putting on stuff that we're saying, where are you getting this from? This doesn't make any sense. None of it. The story. By the way, that wonderful piece, that, and again, it's this person right here. This is the site right here. This is Artifacts Memoriarum. Follow him on X. It's beautiful. But that didn't do anything. That wasn't even about the ballistics. That wasn't about the ballistics. That wasn't about the confession. This place is moth eaten. There's holes in this. The story doesn't, you can't even prop it up. It is, you don't even know. So what I want to ask is people like the genius, the tough guy here, Pickles Wilson, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? I don't want to bring this up, but I will. You know how sometimes they get mad at us when we are historical revisionists, when they said, you're an election denier, you're a truther, you're a Holocaust revisionist, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're trying to undo the truth regarding JFK. We say, no, in that case, the government's lying. But there are other things that have happened in history. And you can debate this all day long, but there have been people, millions of people slaughtered, not just in Germany and Poland, but in China. And the starvation, what Stalin did. And if you sit back and you say that didn't happen, you're almost like an accessory after the fact. You're trying to erase history. So if you sit here and you promote this idea that Charlie was killed by Tyler, and you're a revisionist of the worst order, you're trying to interrupt justice. Explain that one. I will do my best to get to the bottom of this, to destroy the left. What is that even? You're going to destroy the left. What you're doing is you're lending yourself to a movement, to a scrum, to this a clocracy, this murmuration of birds and fish and animals who love to just debunk this because they hate Candace. You are actually becoming an obstructionist. You are a co-conspirator after the fact. You're a post hoc. You're an accessory after the fact. You're like the harboring a fugitive. You know, when somebody holds somebody up, that's what you're doing. And all these people are doing this. And people like Viva, what are you doing? This isn't funny anymore. This isn't a joke. This guy is dead. I don't even know if he's dead, buried, cremated. I don't know anything. And you're sitting back there because of your intense hatred for Candace. Because of this weird kind of, and I don't know what it is, but there's something a little bit more. And it's not racism. It's not misogyny. It's something else. It's something else. This is the best. This is the best. This is so incredible, so important. This is it. I got to tell you something, and I mean this more than anything else. We are absolutely, positively not going to budge. And it kills people. It kills people. And the sad part is, yes, there will be somebody who comes in and, I don't know, they troll or whatever. It doesn't matter. Nobody's, the trolling is not good. The bottom line is this. Tyler Robinson did not kill Charlie Kirk. Somebody or some group or some other people killed Charlie Kirk. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. And we are not going to ask for permission or apologize to anyone. 444 Destiny says, Pickles Wilson does not really want to debate Candace. That's why they're fighting over the no smoking. It's his way out. Well, I think they remember his wife kind of derailed that by saying, oh, no, if you think he's not going to, by the way, his wife, I think she's gutsier. I think she's smarter. And I think she's more interesting than he is. Again, I don't know where it's like all of a sudden you're an expert in this. You're an expert. You know, freedom of speech is one thing. All of a sudden people are preachers, or people are experts on cholesterol or diet, or all of a sudden they're okay. We're not going to stop you from that, but this is serious business here. And it absolutely, positively, it kills people. And you know what? A lot of people are just miserable. They don't like to see the fact that we are meeting and that we are bound and we are motivated by not about Candace, it's about justice for Charlie. That's it, period. And that, my friend, I say to you, I thank you immensely. I thank you for this. I thank you for your time, for your effort. Please like this video. Liking it, if you haven't, it really means a lot to me. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Make sure you're subscribed. People are unsubscribed. Spread this on. Spread this. Spread the word. We'll be with you later. Friday is going to be enormous. Because what I think is going to happen is going to be one for the records. And remember this, do not expect Pickles Wilson to understand what happened. Do not expect, he will claim victory. It'll be exasperating, but that's all he can do. She's going to clean his clock. She's going to take whatever's left, take his balls, put them in a Ziploc bag, and hand it to him like a parting gift and a copy of the home game. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, my friends, we love you. Have a great and a glorious day. Talk to you later. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.